Hello, fellow Megatenists, and welcome to Hello, fellow Megatenists. Today's a special day. It's a Spoilercast again, so just a quick warning. If you like Soul Hackers and you haven't played it, or if you like SMT in general and you haven't played it, because I don't know.
I like that note. If you like the game but haven't played it. It's a very Persona 2 attitude.
Yeah, I had to reach into my Persona vibes. So definitely don't watch this or listen to this if you don't want to get spoiled, because we're going to spoil it, hence the name. Who do I mean by we? Well, let me introduce this cast. First, we have Nebulon.
Hello.
Then we have Glibithy.
Hello.
And Spider.
Thank you.
There's no humorous name I can do for Spider.
Yeah.
And then I'm also Larrue. So, like I said, we're covering Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. This game is actually the one that we're talking about primarily is a re-release. It was originally released in 1996 for the best platform of all time, Sega Saturn, or 1997, sorry. And then it was released again for PlayStation in 1999, and then we got it in America in 2013. It's a loose sequel, I would say, because it has some crossover with the original game, the original Devil Summoner. But aside from that, it's kind of its own beast. I think we're going to start off by talking about the plot, and I'm going to give that task to Neb. Neb, take it away.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, this is my least favorite part of the game. Sort of the whole plot and setting. The setting is actually kind of cool. So the whole plot is like you are inexplicably a hacker child, like an aspiring hacker child, and your best friend is a platonic girl relationship who is also an aspiring hacker, and you all live in this technocratic society where it's a city that's been built on the ground up for like internet access, to the point at which like you can't live on this island city unless you have the right ID. It's like very like almost fascistic in a way, you know, like a digital national ID system. Everyone is highly connected through the internet. And so to it, the whole story revolves all around that. I mean, the main plot point is discovering what the microchip manufacturer company has in store for the island, because they're doing something mysterious. Which, of course, this is a Megaten game. It turns out they want to summon demons and eat people's souls and take over the entire world and sort of cause the apocalypse by feeding an ancient spirit souls. I didn't really like the whole story element. I felt it moved too slow. I felt there was a lot of like basic anime tier, like
repetitive dialogue.
Yeah, like Dora the Explorer-esque, like something will be indicated by one of the characters, and then like as subtext, I guess, and all the other characters won't understand what's happening, almost on purpose. Like they're written in a way to just pad for time. They're like, oh shit, we gotta make this chapter last a while, so everyone's got to be completely oblivious. So yeah, what did you guys think of the writing and the pacing of the plot?
I noticed that too, and it was a big issue for me too, because like characters would say things and like purposely avoid the point of what's happening, so they would like so plot.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah,
the plot couldn't progress. It was really annoying at some points, but I thought it was fine mostly. I didn't really have much issues until the very end of the game.
Yeah, it was frustrating because it was so slow to me. It felt like you get through like 4 dungeons and you're still at the same plot point. Like, what's going on with these computer chips? And it's like, I already know. There's no mystery. I already know this is used for harvesting souls and summoning demons and shit.
Yeah, they blatantly point it out, but they don't say it directly. It's just really obvious. You're like, okay, yeah, I get it. And you're ahead of the cast the entire time. And what's happening.
It feels like the plot doesn't progress for like a good half the game, if that.
Yeah, and like one of the there's like a main side character, the character Yuichi. You get like 5 minutes of development with him, sort of. He's like the newest like noob guy. People pick on him. He's like very earnest, and then he just gets like brainwashed and disappears for like half of the game. It's like, what is this character? Why does he exist except as a plot convenience to like have a mole inside the organization.
One of the funny things about that is like as soon as they rescue him and 6 goes and runs off too, right? But they go check on 6 and he realizes, oh no, he's been, captured by a demon in the Paradigm X or whatever, right?
Yeah, in the haunted house.
And they go and rescue her, but they never go check on Yuichi once.
Like, fuck that kid.
They're like, yeah, he's fine, whatever. Our other guy just, had a dire situation. But this guy, yeah, he's fine.
And speaking of the characters, that's a good point. I wanted to mention that we get like some actual like real character type development for 6. One of the main members of Spookies. I guess we should mention that the team you as an aspiring hacker join a team called Spookies, which is elite hackers, which is literally 4 other people other than you.
Yeah, and 5 futabas. all in a van, driving around.
Yo, stop hating, bro.
I will say, so I guess my thing about the plot is that when I first played it in 2013, I really, really liked it. I was like, this is so fun. It's quirky and interesting.
That was when you were still making AMVs of Vegeta with Linkin Park.
We need that content back right now.
But then, I think the thing that did it for me is I just am old, and when I'm playing this game, I'm like, this is a game for kids. It's definitely made for someone like, early 20s, late teens or something.
Sure, it's younger, but it's pretty mature. I mean, it's like a very murderous.
No, but you know what I mean? Like it's like a Death Note type thing where it's like, oh, it's cool, but like when you're older and you're watching it, it's like, oh, I guess it's like it's not bad. It's just it's not as good as you think it is. You know what I mean?
Adolescence.
So, yeah, it's definitely in that group. And for me, playing it this time around, I was like, this is not really a game. It's more like Kaneko designed like 20 characters he really liked the design of, and was like, I want to show off all of these character designs. Because that's all it was for me. I was like, oh, look at Finnegan, look at like Azazel or whatever guy's name is before he changed. Look at like all these
nefarious looking characters. So earlier when we were doing the up, I was talking about how it's a very Scooby-Doo type story. And like that guy, you see him and you're like, this man is obviously a demon.
Yeah. I mean, he literally his hair is designed in a way that's
like a widow's peak that goes up 8 feet up his head, and his area around his eyes is all triangles. It's like all his sharp features.
A horned hair.
Red. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, is this supposed to be a normal person in this city?
I think that reveal was one of the I think the problem with the plot is any reveal was already revealed to you before.
Yeah.
So anytime the plot progressed, it was just like, okay, I knew that 10 hours ago. And it's a really short game. It's like 30 hours max, And it
feels like nothing happens, basically.
So I feel like it's really a 10-hour game, It's a 10-hour game that got stretched out, and I feel like that really bogged down the plot for me. It repeats itself way too much. And you find out, like, there's supposed to be a mystery, it doesn't make sense because you find it out over and over again.
Yeah, until like the best example is like the biggest plot conflict between the characters, where usually like they'll rib each other and make fun of each other and stuff. But like the biggest like dividing factor was they tried to set up the main guy, Spooky of Spookies. I don't know why he called himself that. Why is it plural? Because his name is Spooky. There are multiple of him.
Sounds cool.
The group is called Spookies, but his name is Spooky.
Yeah. So are they also all Spookies?
They're all Spookies, yes.
I don't like that. That's weird. So anyway, my problem with this is like they try to frame the head guy, Spooky, as like some kind of bad guy or whatever, and the other characters, Lunch and Six, they fall for it, and I think Yuichi is still retarded or whatever's wrong with him. So they all split and everyone splits, and you can choose to side with Spooky or with the other guys because you're like, oh, you're suspicious of him. But there's no point in being suspicious of him because for a fact they show you like 3 times where the brainwashed character Yuichi is like sabotaging things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, this is obviously what this is. There's no mystery here. And then every other character's like, it was Spooky. He was the bad guy the whole time. He was making us hack into this stuff and find all the secrets about the computer chip so that we could get caught and he could turn us in? It's like, that makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. Like, where is the critical thinking?
Yeah, so that bothered me a lot. But then I will say that there was some interesting aspects. The whole concept of the Mesa was an interesting thing that they did in this game. The Mesa takes over the boringest character in the game and makes her like a sex. So she basically gets this makeover where she becomes like very
dominatrix looking sort of thing.
It's based off of someone, but I can't remember who it is. But just think of the Black Cat or whatever from Catwoman from Tim Burton's Batman, and that's basically Nemessa.
You want the right track of Black Cat. Black Cat wears like that open face cat suit type thing like she wears.
They're all cat characters are the same.
Yes, they're all the same. They're all women.
But it was kind of a fun thing. I think that's another thing that felt very young people-y to me, where it's like this sexy character and she had the contrast with the super conservative, like vanilla, nothing character.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, at its core, it's interesting at least, but in execution, I didn't really like it. Like, I don't get the appeal of Nemessa. I thought she was annoying, actually, and she talks the most. So,
you thought she was annoying? I thought she had some of the most fun dialogue.
Yeah,
I think that's why I don't like fun.
I thought
she was a vibe.
Sure, yeah, you hate fun.
I like her. I like her because she's bratty, though. She's like a kid without a filter.
Yeah. It does come off that way, which I think
that isn't like obnoxious, because a lot of the times, especially in Megaten games, when you have that archetype, it's done very obnoxiously.
Asahi?
Yes. She's like a good version of Asahi or Asahi, yeah.
But she never gets like too over the top. She's always at least reined in and focused on what's happening. She isn't like, whoa, like screaming and like freaking out. Like obnoxious bullshit.
Speaking of freak out, Six freaking out at Nemissa.
Yeah.
He just goes off on her. If you go up to the top floor and the factory and you talk to him, and she makes fun of him for hiding from the demons on the top floor because there's no demons up there, and he just yells at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some of the stuff I liked. The actual like character moments where she would just like, it's really interesting because she's like, you don't really have a lot of characters like this who are like this openly antagonistic but not actually evil. It's a weird mix, because usually when you have antagonistic, it's like an evil character, or chaos, which isn't necessarily evil but chaos type, edgy. But she's not really either of those. She's still focused on what's happening and like progressing the plot and like, oh, we have to do this. I'm not going to get bogged down and just try to be evil for crazy's sake.
And she's not really malicious either. It's just she just likes teasing people. Yeah,
one of the things that I would say bothered me about the cast, because like I said, most of my notes are basically just I don't like this, I don't like that. I felt that the way that they did the cast dynamic is super. It didn't feel like they're friends or like they got along at all. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
they're immediately distrustful of each other. They're always like just I don't know.
That is pretty realistic though.
They have their little cliques within the group.
Yeah. Which I thought was cool, because it makes sense. The annoying characters would all go together. So like Six and his friends, like good, like you guys all suck.
And like Lunch and Spooky get along pretty well.
Yeah, and Lunch and Spooky were the ones that are like, you guys are cool. Like you guys are the ones that I like of these Spookies, and I'm like, maybe it's because these ones are the more mature, not so annoying characters where they don't have to be quirky or anything. They're just who they are. And I like Lunch's his whole thing with his dad. I thought it was cool.
I like the dad thing because that was the only thing about his entire personality.
That's true.
Otherwise, he was just like the straight man. There's like Six is the hothead. Yuichi's like a moron, and he's just like the straight man. He's like, oh no, we got to do this, guys. But he didn't really have anything. And then with Six, you got some character development in the haunted house. But like, you didn't do that with anyone else. It's weird. They should have done. Maybe that's too much of a persona thing. Where you have like a character dungeon.
They could have done more with Yuichi for sure, and Hitomi.
They had a character type dungeon for all of them instead of like go into the chess world and the premise is you're supposed to play this guy in chess and you just kill him. It's like, what
That's how you play chess. You never played chess before?
It's not how you play chess where I'm from. You don't saw a bunch of demons and Kaz Madness Crush or whatever 6 times.
Pretty much everyone but the protagonist, Yuichi and Hitomi, get something with their characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Hitomi is totally like, I get it. Like, you want to have like a conservative, like, friend girl character or whatever. But yeah, there's nothing there. It's like
she's kind of just the player's voice, sort of, but not really.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's how a lot of the female like gal pal type characters are.
Like I think Gale was kind of like that in Digital Devil Saga, where
Definitely was.
Right.
Yeah, where it's just like, oh, we need someone to talk on your behalf.
I actually like Gale though.
Yeah, Gale was actually cool.
He does have his own arc as well, unlike Hitomi.
Right. Yeah.
Hitomi might have been better if she actually got something with her character.
Yeah,
They should have done that. They should have, like, instead of having these pointless, like, you have to rescue the sister in the dolphin world or whatever. Take that out, and then like
that was cool though. The dolphin was great.
Dolphin
was cool, but the point was stupid.
Even like an amazing gimmick too. Like that kind of blew me away, to be honest.
Snappy was the trick.
Right.
Before the dungeon, the kid tells you that dolphins are liars and stuff, and then when you fight it, there's a thing where when you shoot magic at it, it looks like it's draining it, but actually it's taking damage. That's the gimmick.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really remember that fight, but yeah, that makes sense. I think I didn't notice that because it's not a very obvious effect when something drains. So I was like, oh, that looks weird. I'm going to keep DPSing this guy and see what happens.
Oh, but to go back to before, when you guys talking about the VR Haunted Mansion, I thought it was like a neat character thing for 6.
Yes.
But it didn't really go anywhere. Like, it just kind of happened, and that was it.
Sure, yes. I wanted to mention that too. I felt like there should have been, like, not necessarily a whole shift in the character, but some kind of acknowledgement of, like, the reason I'm so mad all the time is something with my sister or whatever the hell his arc was.
He does.
Maybe he acknowledges that the next time he gets heated or something,
He does mellow out after that arc though, and he eases off Yuichi a bit.
Yeah.
His sister should have become his persona, to be honest.
What we're saying is mainline and spinoffs need to be Persona. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. So
this game does really remind me of Persona, though, a lot.
Yeah, I think that's part of why I don't like some aspects of it, because a lot of the characterization is shallow in this. It reminds me of like more of the newer Persona where all the playables are the playable and the other people are just like nothing character.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about the gameplay.
You want to go to a different section first instead?
Different section first. What section? The setting?
Maybe music and graphics.
Why do you want to do that? Okay. Yeah, we can talk about the music and graphics.
That's a spider first.
Let's do it this way: music, graphics, and then also the voice acting.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Yeah. Spider, you had something you wanted to say?
So the clip art backgrounds for the battle. I was in the Haunted Mansion. I was like, why are there purple and pink flowers?
Why are you guys
in this Haunted Mansion where everyone's screaming to death?
I mean, some of that could be.
It was amazing.
It's like 2-decade-old shit that they're like basically up-resing and feel like recreating.
Yeah, but it's like it's a Haunted Mansion. Why are there flowers?
It's very silly at times.
That's where Kaneko is. He's in the flowers, remember?
Oh, okay, yeah, the flower field. That makes sense.
It's a hint. It's a clue.
Yeah, he's actually dead. That's what they're saying.
Another thing I like, all the different animations for like the different moves and all that. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. As well as like when you punch an enemy really hard and they fly off the screen screaming. I never got tired of that. of that.
Well, specific stuff, because you can see that in some of the more modern ones too. Like I forget which moves do it, but like in 4 or maybe Apocalypse, I don't remember what it does that with guns. If you kill them with guns, it's in 4, yeah. And with guns, there'll be bloody holes in the model. But with this one, there's like I had Gog Magog for a long time, especially in the end game, and he had a move called Twist Off, which like crushes the enemy. And if you killed someone, it would like compress their model and look like something was like squishing it, like throwing it away. Awesome. And yeah, and he had a move called Loyalty Fist, and it would do like a whole row, and it was this fist that come and punch, and they go flying off in the direction the punch came. It's very funny. It's very entertaining to watch the special effects happen. And there's not as many these days. It's weird because this is an old fucking game.
I like how the sprites like float around and stuff and have shadows. Like when later when what's his name? Spooky gets captured and he gets possessed by what's his name? Saturn or whatever it's called. How you spell it?
Saturn.
Yeah, when he was getting carried around, that had me dying laughing when he was possessed. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a cool sprite, to be honest. I really like that art.
Reminds you of the Decarabia from Imagine. We just float around.
Oh, right. It reminded me of those the Las Plagas in Resident Evil 4, I think is the one where they're in Spain. Yeah. Just because of the way the heads would explode, but I guess it's a little different.
Enemy, but yes, I want to replay that, man. That's a good ass game.
That's a bad game. It's only good if you play with the gamepad controller.
Resident Evil Spoilercast next. Can't wait.
Waiting for our RE4 Spoilercast.
I will say that the thing that bothered me about some of that stuff is that it doesn't. A lot of the things that I thought were cool in Soul Hackers just doesn't appear in other games anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they build Strange Journey like or Strange Journey Redux after Soul Hackers 3DS existing, how come they didn't take some notes and go, oh yeah, like maybe not everything needs portraits. Maybe we need to do some of the stuff like you guys are saying, the cool animations. The I forgot what gameplay things me and Glib were talking about the other day. That
for what?
That's right. First that Soul Hackers does, but Strange doesn't do.
Running
loyalty.
Oh yeah, loyalty. Oh, loyalty.
That's a banger, but
let's go to that later.
Okay, fine.
Sidebar that.
I did like the music in Soul Hackers a lot.
Hold on. This is our boy, right?
Who's our boy?
Mr. BM? Was this him?
Who?
What are you talking about? Yeah, this is that show. It's Shoji Meguro. I think it has Tsukasa Masuko on it too, and there's one other composer who worked on it too, but I don't remember. Mostly Shoji.
Can Shoji Meguro take an L? Is it possible? Has it been scientifically proven that he can take an L ever?
Persona 3 soundtrack.
That's a fine soundtrack. It's very short. It's very short. I hate people who are like, oh, I could listen to that soundtrack forever because it's always different. It's not different. Oh yeah, the seasons change and one of the overworld fucking themes changes every fucking season or whatever. There's still 20 tracks in the entire game. That's not many at all.
Baby. I don't know. We've already discussed my feelings on Shoji Meguro or Shoji Meguro as he's
just shut up. He's good. He's great.
I will say that this soundtrack is good, and it's so funny to think that this is the one soundtrack he's ashamed of, and it's the one that sounds one of the best ones.
He is? Really?
Yes.
This is the best overworld theme in Mega 10, I'd say.
I forget the exact quote, but he says something like he can't remember, or he doesn't remember nightmares, or he has trouble remembering nightmares, so he doesn't remember what it was like working on
wow,
something like that. It's something ridiculous where I was like, okay.
That might have to do with the work schedule and not with his personal feelings of the quality of the product.
He thought that the sound quality of the Sega Saturn was really bad.
Okay.
I mean, he's right.
Yes, that makes sense. It kind of has a charming, like, lo-fi feel to it, though, I would say.
It does. I feel like it works to the aesthetic,
the setting and everything. Yeah, because it's all like a late 90s prediction of how technology would be in the future or whatever. It's very quaint. It's like the Matrix,
And all these 90s sound effects. Don't hear them anymore. You can just tell they were made in the 90s.
And another thing about the 90s aspect that I wanted to mention. So this goes back to the plot and setting, so sorry for missing this, but you're talking to someone, I don't know if it's Katakura or Azazel or someone. It's one of the main antagonists near the very end. and he's talking about how he built the city or whatever, and he wanted to harvest souls. And he's talking about how he wanted to connect everyone to a good thing, but it ended up being a bad thing because people used it for the wrong thing, and it ended up making everything worse. And it's like, this is 1997, and that's exactly what the internet is. It just makes everything worse.
Yeah, that was pretty fitting.
The internet had just come out, like 10 years ago, less than that, for public use, and it's like, it's only made things worse. So that guy was right.
Yeah.
That was Kadoka or whatever?
I think it was him. Yeah, now that I think about it, it was probably him because he was the architect guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he had the dual-colored hair.
Yeah, and he had the ridiculous voice actor. He sounded like that voice actor sounded like he was supposed to be like 10-foot tall, like 500-pound man.
It's not as bad as Goto's voice.
Yeah, Goto's voice is easily the worst, or one of the worst, in my opinion.
It's the one that sticks out the most to me.
Where did all the Kuzunoha stuff go? Also, like where did that whole plot thread go? Because they show up.
It didn't.
What?
I think that was supposed to be just fan service, but it doesn't.
Yeah, because it's branded as Devil Summoners. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that fan service doesn't really hit when we don't have the other game in English.
They just come through to say hi for like 2 seconds and then leave.
Yeah, you go to the airport and it's like 5 dungeons later. You're like, didn't we talk to the where are they? Are they going to help us?
The only reason I have any idea of what their characters are like is from the TV show, and I haven't even finished that. So I'm like, these guys are a little bit different.
Especially since in the third Vision Quest, when you play as Naomi, she keeps talking about Ray, but I'm like, what did Ray do to you?
That's never resolved. It's like, I hate the Kuzunohas. It's like, oh, maybe there'll be like a clan rival thing we're going to resolve. Like, no, none of that gets resolved.
She just dies and that's it.
You get owned by Tiamat or whoever and whatever.
Yeah, because I think the Kuzunohas they're like against the Phantom Society, right? That's like their
they are.
Yeah.
They are.
That's never resolved, I don't think, ever.
Yeah. And
I think that's kind of the point though, isn't it? That like you can't really resolve it. Isn't that part of it also?
Yeah.
I guess, but you could have something,
So one of the things that I will say is there was a manga called Devil Summoner Zero, which was, I guess, it's like a prequel, or it takes place in between Devil Summoner 1 and Soul Hackers. So it's supposed to link the two and basically explain the Kyoji or the Kuzunoha relationship with Soul Hackers. But since that's not in English, like who cares actually that it exists?
Yes, that's true.
I'd like to read that actually.
Why'd you bring it up then? Hello?
Because I just know it exists. The way I decided that I was gonna do this Spoilercast on my end was I was like, since I'm gonna be hating on this a lot, I might as well have some interesting facts to share.
Great. Could balance it up. Like, I hate this, but here's a nice little tidbit I want to throw in there.
A lot of this would have been better if the other game had been out for people to play and connect these events and all that. But it's not here. So
I read a brief synopsis of the original one, and it sounds a little confusing, but not as dumb as this. Yeah. There's one more thing I want to mention about the graphics before we move on to voice acting, which is also in this section. How about that animation for Sword Fusion? Isn't that hilarious?
It was, yes.
Watching that, I was like, Jesus Christ, they really didn't up-res any of this, huh?
It's just like, here's a ball.
Watching those crushers come in, it's like, man.
If only swordsmithing was that easy.
I mean, it is that easy.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he really does anything. He looks like he just presses a button.
Well, he's a chef, so...
Yeah, why is he a chef, and why is he French and half Japanese?
I don't know, maybe he's a microwave chef. He's good at pressing buttons, so...
Fair.
Anyway, let's move on to VA. Laura Bailey is very good. She plays Nemitsa. She's famous for pretty much every female role ever in video games. She's like the Nolan North of being a woman, basically.
I don't know who Nolan North is.
Glib knows. He's laughing because he knows.
I don't want to look it up and it be something gross. Is it something that I got to put in?
I think you're thinking of a different North. I think you're thinking of Peter North, which
Peter
don't
North?
Google that. Don't worry about it.
One thing that drove me nuts is how every character asks, "What will you do? What will you do?" I'm like, "Oh, please change up the line, please."
Well, the one. Did anyone else get this? When you went to the shop, the guy who sells guns and weapons, did he sound like the guy from Breaking Bad to you? Did he sound like Jesse to you, like an older Jesse?
I didn't.
I don't
I-
guess that.
Oh,
No,
you
no.
don't know him? God damn it! All right,
I
everyone
like
at
the.
home. He sounds like an older Jesse Pinkman, and I was laughing every time I heard him talk. Go on.
I really like the Vietnamese guy.
Okay, was that race? No, he was Thai. First of all,
Oh, you're right. He was Thai. He was Thai. You're right.
that's racist of you.
Yeah.
Second of all, is this a racist stereotype? I don't know what he was doing.
Is it?
He was
Honey
like,
crop.
is this like a Thai face thing? Like, what is the bit he's doing? Yeah, he's like,
He's
he has a catchphrase that is that Thai? Is
Yeah,
that
it
a
means,
thing Thai
hello,
people
I think.
do?
Means hello,
Okay.
I think, in Taiwanese. And then
It's weird. The whole vibe with him, I was like,
Name
this
again?
is racist, but I don't know how. It was
he
like
says
Sawat Murray or something.
Sawadee Karap. Something like that.
Yeah.
Of course you'd remember that.
Yes, I hear it every time.
Great.
Oh, one of the other NPCs, the one where you traded the mag for yen, or no?
Yeah, the demon guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that pose he's sitting in is the same one from one of the Kaneko interviews where Kaneko has of himself sitting
Oh,
dressed up
that's
as Kyoji.
funny.
It's the same exact pose.
That's pretty funny.
What?
He
Who
must
is
have
that
done it on
guy, too?
purpose.
Can't steal from yourself.
Sure. You are your
It's
own
kind of weird, like
reference
guys
image.
just kind of like chilling in the city and like no explanation.
The organic guy, the demon guy?
Yeah, like what is he? Like he's just
Or do
chilling.
you mean the
there?
boat guy? The boat guy, that's a weird.
I mean him
Victor?
too, but I mean the OEA dude,
Yeah.
like some weird like monster type thing. It's like never
Well,
explained.
I mean,
They're probably both demons.
yeah, I mean, obviously he's a demon. He's exchanging money for magnetite, which is demon fuel. It's like gasoline for demons. And so it's like
Whoa.
the whole thing was built from the start to be about demons. Like, what's he doing? Is he gonna be mad that we're not harvesting souls anymore and all the demons are gonna be gone? Like, what's his business model post ending?
No
He's like a
idea.
nice guy at least.
I'm worried about him.
So I'm like looking at all the voice actors because I didn't know that they were all like pretty famous people.
Yeah, a lot of them are pretty famous. Yeah.
So like the ones that I really liked were like Spooky, and he's like the guy he's also in Catherine. He's
Yep.
he's the douche guy in Catherine, Orlando.
Yes.
And then I like the lunch, and he's Todd Habercorn, who gets his eyebrows done clearly based on this picture.
That's in his credits.
I mean, like
Impeccable eyebrow design. Also, I was in Catherine.
I don't know what Todd Habercorn was else in, but I recognize that name. It sounds super familiar.
His voice just sounds very like. You listen to that, and you're like, I've heard 10 dubs that you're in. Oh my god! Can this be the thumbnail?
Let's see. He
That's
plays.
you got to shave that, my guy. You can't leave that up. That's not good.
It's very
he's in
cursed.
so many things that I can't figure out what he's
The
doing.
geometry of his face is like unnatural.
He plays so many characters.
I'm deleting this. This is too much.
I'm trying to find. Oh, he's Gaston in Apocalypse, and he's
Oh.
Teru in.
Yes, that's okay. See, yeah, there's like 10 things where you'd be like, that's absolutely him.
Guess
No.
he's really good in Apocalypse too.
Yeah, I really liked his
that's
voice
a good
in
performance, yeah.
Apocalypse. Yeah.
You know, he's good. He's good in this. He's good in that. Yeah, he's good. And
So,
the we were talking about that shitty character Yuichi. He's voiced by
Yuri
Yosuke,
Lowe.
right? Yeah, he's in a million other things. He's literally every time they're like, we need an earnest 16-year-old who's kind of a fuck up and dumb. They're like, all right, call Yuri. He will absolutely fill that role.
It's funny because most of his characters are like that, except he also does Makoto in Dancing All Night and Persona 5. The deal.
Plays a lady?
Huh? No, that's
It's in Makoto.
the Persona 3 emo.
Oh.
Yeah,
because you talk about Persona dancing. I thought about 5, and I was like, he played Makoto.
and he literally plays Toby, who's like the quintessential, basically what you described, that earnest, young, like dumb guy.
He has a situation going on, and it's working for him. I'm sure.
Well, he got the character down pat. That's for sure.
He's an archetype. He probably hard cast as that, and he's okay with it.
by far the most annoying voice in the game. Like it felt like I was getting stabbed in the ears every time he talked.
It's not that bad.
It's also the point. It's hard to it's hard to defend it because it's like that's the point, but it's also annoying.
Yeah.
It's a break game.
I'm not saying that his acting was bad. I'm saying that the character is so annoying. Yeah, he did a good job of being an annoying guy who I think Luigi is supposed to be annoying.
Is that a compliment?
Yes.
It's kind of funny that
he's from the West Coast. This is a very West Coast vibe that he's doing right now.
It's kind of funny that 6 is younger than Yuichi.
He is?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
He's younger.
They
fight about it early in the game.
They do a character bio on everyone, I think. Lunch looks like he's like 35 and he works at a head shop.
No, he's
how old is Lunch?
He looks at a vape shop.
That's what a head shop is.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Jeez.
They masquerade as vape shops, but they sell weed paraphernalia. Basically, it's like one of those places.
Yeah, dude. Incense covers up pungent odors, bro.
It's like one of those guys. Yeah.
I was towards the end of the game. I was like, wait, is Lunch a teenager?
He's one of those characters that's like 14, but it looks like he has like 2 kids and a wife that he doesn't talk to.
He looks older than Spooky.
He does look older than Spooky.
He's been on City Miles. Spooky's been on Highway Miles.
Lunch is on meth, bro. What do you mean?
19 years old.
Yeah, Spooky moisturizes. Lunch is on meth.
So these are the ages. Hitomi's 18. Protagonist is 18. Lunch is 19. 6 is 17. Should be 16. 6. Okay, whatever. Yuichi is 18. And then
It's 18? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. And then Spooky is only 25 years old.
Wow.
25.
I thought Yuichi was like 13, bro.
Japan is a different place, man. All these ages should be increased by like 6 years to make sense.
Dang, Spooky smokes way too many cigarettes if he's that old looking. 25.
Yeah, he looks like a divorcee. Like
He looks about 30.
Yeah, he really doesn't talk to his wife. If Lunch doesn't talk to his wife, Spooky is like fully estranged.
Okay, let's get back on to a...
Yeah, all right. Does anyone else have anything to say about the music, graphics, or VA? I think we covered it. The textures are horrible and blocky and stupid, but it's endearing and funny. The music is great. The VA work is generally good, but the direction can be bad, and the writing is terrible.
I like the cheesy sound effects.
Yep.
Everything is good.
The whistle noises as like things go by, like stuff like that. Very funny, very endearing.
I will say that I don't really care for the writing. I thought the writing at times was very, very
cheesy. It's one of the that's what I'm complaining about with the plot and everything. Almost all of it is just like this like padding style of writing. Like it feels like a DBZ filler episode where they're like, we've really got to buy time. Just make everyone as dumb as possible for like 20 minutes, please. We need time for fucking Toriyama to write the next chapter.
I didn't mind too much the campiness and how obvious everything was.
I didn't hate it. It's just I like the game so much as a game that I was like, I wish that the story matched it and the writing matched it. You know?
Yeah, I can see that because that's kind of how I feel too. The gameplay is so good that when I think about everything else, I'm like, man, if only this was a little better, then it would be like a 9 instead of like a 8.
If you really love something, you will absolutely hate on it.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
My problem.
So speaking of something we won't hate on, none of us will hate on. We're going to talk about the gameplay, and Glib is going to guide us through this journey. So Glib, please tell us what you thought about the gameplay of Soul Hackers.
It's basic classic SMT gameplay. First person exploration, 6-member parties, turn-based battles, front row, back rows, magnetite, all that stuff. I think Soul Hackers is like I'm gonna say this. I think it's like the perfection of that kind of combat, like the classic SMT combat. I think it's like the peak of that right there. I wish Strange Journey would have like peaked on, well, not peaked, but like continued on that. But I think co-op is weird. I don't know. I don't want to get to that though. Okay, so Soul Hackers has the most defining feature in Soul Hackers is loading system. I don't think we talked about that yet. Basically, I think this is in every Devil Summoner game, like including Larrue too. Basically, each demon can have one of 5 personalities: kind, wild, dumb, sly, and calm. Kind demons like healing and defending, wild like basic attacks, dumb like being told to go, sly like attack spells, and calm like doing the ultimate thing in battle. If you do what they tell, if you tell them what to do and they like it, the loyalty goes up. If you don't, it goes down probably.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that is generally if you get
once
to a
they
certain
trust
level,
you enough,
they just
they'll
do whatever you want
basically
anyway.
take whatever
Unless
order.
you do
They'll be
something
like,
really
they'll
dumb.
even voice it and be like, "Ooh, I don't know about this, but I guess I'll do it because this seems like a bad idea." And they even get bonuses too, which is cool. Like kind demons are super important to have in boss battles and shit, where you're not quite equipped. Because what they'll do at max loyalty is if you tell them to guard, they'll defend main character against a lethal blow, which saved me like 4 times. Yeah.
That was like passive. I didn't know that was like a thing for kind.
Yeah, it was like a special thing. Like they all have special little things. Mostly it's they'll do whatever you say, but kind has that extra little quirk that makes them like invaluable. Like I use Paimon for like the entire end game because he had full heal ability and he would just guard MC against huge attacks.
One thing like that too is at peak loyalty, what calm demons will do is if you tell them to do something and they like it, they might actually change their attack method to like make it like to do extra damage with something. So like say someone's like low health, and there's like 2 demons, one A and B, and one A is at low health, and you told it to attack B, it'll attack A anyway to kill it, even if you don't tell it to. Which is kind of neat.
Interesting.
I find it really
I never noticed that. That's cool.
Yeah,
that does sound kind of annoying. Where they're like, actually, I know better. It's like, no, you don't, you motherfucker.
Just to add, the only other game in Megaten that does loyalty is Imagine, and Imagines is great because when you have the character or the demon above its name, it'll have like how loyal it is, and like the English translation for the base for the when you first get the demon is wishes death on whatever your character's name is. But the Japanese name for that is aiming at your neck while you're sleeping, and I think that's so funny.
That's a good little touch. Yeah, I want to play more of that. I'm gonna start playing that.
Oh, next Spoilercast maybe.
Maybe we'll see. Spoiler for the next Spoilercast.
I don't have anything else to say about the loyalty system besides that I really, really, really like it, and I want them to use that in like SMT5 or just any Megaten game in general because it's such an interesting like way to layer working on having a demon in your party.
Yeah,
kind of like.
Gives you a sense of investment in the demon too.
Yes, that's the word I was trying to.
Yeah, because because like in SMT4, it's such a soulless like factory construction of a demon. You're like, all right, I'm going to give him this almighty ability and this buff and this resistance, and it's like
I like it better than leveling up demons.
And it's just better than like revealing a new ability and being like, oh, he does this thing now. You can like you can't really customize them here, but you can like invest in them and feel like, oh, this guy has my back now, because when they're not leveled up in loyalty, especially if they drop down to low loyalty, they won't even listen to you. They'll do whatever the fuck they want, which is usually something really stupid, especially if they're what is it dumb? Dumb demons are real fucking dumb. Like, there's not an exaggeration at all. Those guys will do anything. They're nuts. But
did you know that if you get a demon too low loyalty, it'll leave your party?
He'll just leave your stock? That's hilarious.
Yeah, I had that happen.
It happened to me.
He just left.
Actually, fuck you. I'm out. That's good. I like that.
I was like, what happened? Why did I save? No!
I like that. That's great. Because I felt like for me, it was not hard to maintain loyalty at all. Like, for dumb demons, sometimes it was annoying to maintain their loyalty. But everyone else, I could figure it out. Calm was actually maybe the hardest. Because Calm, you don't really know what the AI is thinking of what's the most optimal. Sometimes the AI is like, the most optimal thing for me is to cast Paralyze on one unit that isn't going to do anything. Because one other unit is going to block my AoE kill everyone with the Expel, with light damage. Like, there are packs in there that have 5 demons that are weak to Expel. But if there's one that's null, he'll be like, it's not optimal. I'm just going to cast Paralyze.
Yeah. I just put the buffs on Zeed.
So, let's talk about Zeed. Zeed is... What a weird mechanic. What a weird, interesting mechanic. Who wants to talk about Zeed?
Not me.
I can do that too.
You want to do it? Go for it.
Okay. So Zeed is really cool. Basically, it costs no mag to use it and no mag to summon it, like walk around with it and stuff. It has full loads always. Some people say that like it can't disobey you, but I've had it disobey me like 3 times at least. I think it's only during new moon though. I'm not sure on that one. Basically, it's like I think of it as like a backwards Mitama, where like you feed stuff to it and it gets level. It can evolve to new forms and stuff. If you fuse it, I think during a full moon, it can like fuse into heroes and generals and stuff.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is such a bizarre mechanic. I didn't even fuck with it at all. Like, I think by the time I got to the monolith, I was like, oh yeah, there was that quest to get the dolly thing and turn him into Zeed. What's he doing? And he was like level 10, and I was like, oh, I can't even use this anymore. Because he's
the whole game.
Well, you can fuse him into someone else, and he'll eat that person's skills. And so you can customize them the whole time, which is so cool. And I feel so bad about missing out.
It's actually kind of because like it becomes almost incestuous. It's skill thing because like you can't get rid of the skills. They're like always random.
Yeah.
So it gets really very,
it's like
very
the old it's like that stupid Nocturne thing where you're trying to make a demon, and you're like, I hope when we fuse this, it'll get these skills, and doesn't. You're like, all right, back out, try again, because it's completely random. That is the one optimization I think from like the newer games that's really nice, like being able to choose skill inheritance, what skills you forget, shit like that. That's something that old games lose out on. That's like a dumb random thing too. Like it's not you can like save scum that, you know. If it's random
too. When you first make a Zeed, the first thing you fuse with determines like what form it'll evolve into, which is kind of cool too.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's such a weird, cool little mechanic that I wish I'd used more, but you ultimately don't need it all. I mean,
it does make things more convenient, though.
Mag.
yeah, being able to just like customize a demon fully and do whatever you want is pretty nice.
Later on, you don't really have much of a mag issue.
I never had a mag issue.
Midway.
Yeah. If I started to like spend more than I was getting, I would just put someone back. And like Nemesis is so fucking busted if you just dump mag points in her. That it's like
she melts
the only problem is if someone has null fire or drain fire or whatever. But this brings me to another great point about the gameplay. This has the greatest innovation in these old shitty games where the main character is relegated to having no abilities, no spells. All they're good for is regular attacks and items. Sword fusion. Sword fusion fucking rules. You can get a new sword, which is sourced from a demon, and the sword has different properties. So you can have a regular physical damage sword that applies paralyze or poison, other ailments, or you can go to a elemental weapon like lightning. So you can specialize in ice or lightning or wind or whatever, so that when Nemesis it gets blocked because she's mostly fire damage, you can clean up.
And to be clear, also, Nemesis isn't just fire damage. It depends what you pick in the beginning of the game.
Really?
Mine was also fire.
Because remember when you first start the game, it has like 3 questions. Depending on what you pick, when the game first starts, you talk to Spooky and he says like, "What do you think about her?" And I think it's peppy, sexy, and something else. Peppy is fire, sexy is electric, and I forget what the last one is. That's ice though.
Really?
Oh no, that's why I didn't get electric because I thought she was annoying. So I put peppy.
That's crazy. Really?
The thing about that is people elect is the best one. But like elect, I found it kind of like underwhelming.
There's a lot of stuff I fused an elect sword like halfway through the game and I regretted it because there's a lot of reflect elect.
I like that skill she gets with fire when that Naomi has.
I know what you're talking about.
It does the multiple damage.
Calor.
Yeah, that one.
No?
Yeah, it is. That's the one that you have low health. It does more damage.
Yeah, it's Roma.
Yeah, when she's low health. Yeah, that thing fucks.
No, we went at level 75.
I think this is the game though where I realized the community was stupid because like the whole game, people were telling me how like the MC was weak and that Lek was the best one for Nemissa, but like Sword Fusion made the MC super strong. Like he was dumb strong. Like he was carrying my team easily.
This is the game that you realize that?
No, I mean, like, this is where it really set in.
Okay.
Like, yo, everything everyone told me was so wrong.
Yeah.
Sword Fusion makes them like super crazy because if he was relegated to just guns, normal attacks, he would blow hot cock, like be bad. But with Sword Fusion, he can just like he scales off of strength, which you're gonna dump anyway because he's not gonna use magic. He's not gonna use int. Why would you even have those stats, by the way? With a character that literally is incapable of, I wouldn't dump full strength, but I had like 25 or 29 agility near the end, which is the best stat because you can go first, throw a bead on someone or guard or whatever ahead of time.
I'm pretty sure int helps with negotiation.
Yeah. Might be in this one,
I know mag is important too because you need like 8 mag for the Masakado armor or something like that, or 10. I forget. One of those.
I didn't do that, but yeah, probably that makes sense.
Something like that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, if you're not a cool guy who dumps luck like me.
Did you really?
I put a bunch of luck. Dude, you know how much money I had at the end from drops? Because it affects drops.
It does?
Yeah. Like I put all my points in agility and strength early on, and I was running out of money all the time. And then for like 10 levels in a row, I dumped luck, and I was rolling in cash for the rest of the game. You get so many drops.
Use the luck in that app that doubles items.
That might have also contributed a lot.
I didn't put much in the strength at first because, like I said before, people told me the MC was weak.
Yeah.
But like by the time I got Sword Fusion, that dude was going crazy. So like,
he can fuck people up if he doesn't get like nulled out. He can really do some damage.
He's no joke. Even if he get nulls out, he has guns still. So it's like it's not even really a big deal.
I never used the gun. I would just guard and have Nemissa kill it.
I would give him shotguns because that's fun. Blow up those stupid birds. All the bird demons have weak to gun.
I gave him trank bullets. It was really fun. Trank bullets are nice.
It's kind of a shame you don't need to exploit weaknesses here. It really doesn't matter much.
So you can just sort of be like, oh, he drained it, whatever. I guess next
turn. I think it was useful because like half the demons
do damage
were like weak to either curse or expel, or not. I think death actually not curse.
Yeah, there was definitely like
half the game easily.
Yeah, dark and light were too stupid in this game for sure. Like every dungeon had multiple packs where you could be like, oh, I'll just cast Hama on, which is light damage on everyone for like 8 MP, and it'll kill 5 out of the 6 demons. It's like, okay.
Hama carried me. I'm not gonna lie, Hama carried me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nemessa is super fucking broken. The whole like, I guess it's just the stats in general, like the way stats scale with raw damage. Like I was using, what does she get? She gets like Megiddo.
Yeah.
Some kind of single target Megiddo type almighty damage.
Yeah.
And I was hitting bosses for like 1500 with that. And then you just like buff with Makakaja and you just wipe out bosses in like 5 turns. It's stupid.
Well, most of it was like I think 400 on weakness or something like that. But I use mostly Agi, whatever. Agi, how you say that? I don't know. But in my experience, I found Agi stronger than Megiddo for some reason. I don't know why.
It depends on the demon too, yeah. Because if they resist fire at all in any capacity, obviously Megiddo is better. But I forget which one she gets because it's a single target. I don't remember what it's called.
You're right. It's Megiddo.
Okay. Yeah, because in most games, Megiddo is AoE.
Yeah. I think in this game, the way it works is for Megiddo and Hama and Mudo, the first stage is 1 target, the second stage is one row, and the third stage is everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Right. Yeah. Yeah, they fucked with the naming conventions. That's annoying.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think about the boss fights? I thought mostly they were a joke. I also didn't mess with the difficulty settings. I know that's in the 3DS version, but I didn't want to like fuck with any of that.
The bosses are all super easy. This is one of the games where I didn't. Well, I generally don't plan when I'm playing Megaton games because you can just figure out the basic mechanics and you can just breeze through the game.
Yeah, you just save before the boss fight, and it's like, oh, I need to make an adjustment.
Yeah, but this one,
Well, that's one thing about.
This one I felt like I was able to pick just whatever demons, and I would always do fine.
Yeah.
Whatever, like I just didn't really matter too much. Nemissa and Protag would do everything.
Yep. I had forgotten that when you load into Finnegan's fights, he always kills off your Zoma.
Oh, really?
Zeed?
Yeah.
On the first. And so I kept going in. I was like, why did I keep dying? Oh, shit. I should just read the screen. That's why.
I didn't notice that. I had never used him, so I wouldn't know.
I think part of what makes the bosses so easy is that the save spots in this game are very common. Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And even an app that lets you save wherever, which I used a lot.
Yeah.
Strange Journey Redux status, yeah.
I think the only boss I had a problem with in this game was it Satan Nail? Was it? I think it had like this one ability where it gets sent like half your party to the comp or whatever, whenever it wanted to. It was so dumb.
Yeah. That was interesting. All the boss mechanics were actually pretty interesting. They had like directional abilities. Like there was I think was it Tiamat or someone else had an ability that no, it wasn't Tiamat. It was some robot character. He had an ability that would shoot the middle character.
Those small ones.
Yeah, like the robot guy, and he would shoot the back right too. It was like a V shape. It's really interesting, all these directional attacks they put. It's very cool because it kind of makes you think about where to place your guys. And sending people back to comp, that's always kind of interesting. It's not that bad because Nemissa has Sabatomer or whatever, so you can just summon them back. It's not really a big deal.
That reminds me. Did you guys use that move in the Chroma or whatever it's called? That move is so broken.
I've read about it in the FAQ, and I didn't understand it. I never had to use it, though.
When a demon on your team dies, she revives it, and it has 0 health. So whenever it gets attacked, it doesn't die. It's just immortal until you heal it. If you heal it, it dies. But other than that, it's immortal the whole time. It can't be killed. It's so
undead. So it only dies from heals. So can the enemy heal it though?
I haven't seen that happen. So maybe, but I haven't seen that.
Maybe with a charm, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was.
Yeah, I tried reading that
really
skill,
cool.
and I was like, "What does that mean?"
Strong.
But I never had to use it because, like, if someone died, I would just keep pressing on with damage anyway, and I would just win. So, yeah, I read something about the fact how that was pretty interesting, but
yeah,
I don't know. I didn't really do anything with that. One thing I have in my notes here about combat. I usually don't like how there's a million different types of damage in some of the older games, but I really like the addition of skill because, like, you have people who are like, they'll be like reflex, strike, and slash, which is like physical damage, but they don't resist skill damage, which is a method for strength-based demons to deal damage without relying on a purely physical attack, which is interesting.
Oh, that's like the skills, like what's it called? I know
it's usually gun type stuff, but like a twist off is one of them. Like Gog Magog had that. It's a weird variety of things. It's kind of like a miscellaneous type.
I had a few that were magic. Like I know.
Yes.
What's that? It's a fury demon. It's called like Tonatiuh or something like that. It's like a dude in like a Chinese sun. He had a skill called Radiance, and it was a light skill. It was like a light. It wasn't magic. It was actual skill.
Right.
And it like pierced damage.
Yeah.
And I think Israfel had like a force thing. It's called Shockwave. I think it was really strong too. But
yeah. It was pretty cool because like if you look at the more modern example of like DX2. What they do is allow people with strength scaling to not necessarily rely just on physical damage. So like they'll be like almighty damage that scales off of strength and shit like that. But a lot of these games don't have that. If you're a strength demon and someone's null fizz, you're just completely shit out of luck. You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I think skill and some of the other types of damage, it's an interesting way around that.
Yeah,
it is a little bloated with having to track like 19 different damage types, but I like that little detail of like still being able to do something and not feel like, oh, I'm screwed now because he knows this one thing that this guy can do.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the battle mechanics systems that all they have to do is kind of revisit it and kind of tighten it up, and it would be better. You know, there's not a whole lot lost in some of the stuff. To me, even having that many different damage types is not that big of a deal. To me, it's better than having the 7 or 8 that we normally get. You know, just
Right.
like, you know, 17 isn't that big of a number. I mean, unless you're over the age of or under the age of 12, but that's only on a fans. So.
It's a lot to read when you have 17 different damage types to read. Be like, all right, he's this.
There is a lot going on the
is
screen, that's for
loaded.
sure.
I feel like
When
they
you're
could have done the UI better to not be like that. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it is hard though, because like to revamp the UI, you'd still have to account for all the existing systems because they're not going back and remastering the systems, you know, like the core gameplay mechanics. So it's like, how do you do that? I don't know.
If I hadn't played this or played Megaton before, I'd have a hard time remembering any of the demons' names because they don't really show up on screen.
And the UI is very annoying at times too. Like getting to the detail of a specific demon, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Speaking of names, I wanted to talk about Katakura. Do you guys have any inkling of who he could be based off of, if based off anyone?
Bill Gates.
Yeah. And the thing that's funny is his name is literally
is that real?
Yeah. He was based off of Bill Gates.
Okay, that was a guess.
His name in kanji, like the first part of it, the kama or the kato. Yeah,
it's a gate.
Kura, whatever Kura means. But Mon and then whatever. So I think it's hilarious that like
it's crazy.
But
the Kaneko predict the Ronies.
Yeah, he did. He knew it.
Hold on. How did he know?
In a dialogue I recall very clearly, Katakura is talking to us about how the antenna is going to spread the demon virus road. Six says to Katakura, you're going to spread your disease to the whole world? And Katakura goes, yes, everyone is going to have the demon. Bill Gates, don't get the vaccination. Bill Gates is going to track you.
So like it's just the truth.
You're going to sacrifice your soul to demon.
Oh no.
I feel like we touched all of the major parts of the game.
All the good conspiracy theory.
I wanted to talk about like some of the goofy things that happened to you guys while playing, or some weird things that you noticed.
We skipped the side quests.
Sorry, what?
Oh yeah, let's talk briefly about
side quests.
I didn't. The only one I noticed, you guys started talking about them. When I first checked the FAQ was like halfway through the game. I noticed I missed like 3 of them probably, and I got to the monkey facility one, which
that's the best one.
Monkey Romero the monkey is a god tier character.
Yeah,
I love it. The boss fight was hilarious. The encounter rate up to the boss fight was literal cancer. I would rather go through chemotherapy than encounter that again. I
actually got one if I went there. Wow.
I was chugging repulse water because every 3 steps it's like random chimp event.
Not even 3. It was like 2 or 1.
3's generous, yes. But repulse water.
You guys didn't have a Zoma?
Repulse water. You know, it's like $400 or whatever. Chug that. Keep moving. Fight this stupid monkey. Yeah, the writing for the whole thing with the monkey was hilarious. You have to pass a quiz to beat the boss fight, and like pass multiple quizzes to get to the boss fight. It's like this is simultaneously the dumbest fucking thing in the world, but also very funny.
Yeah,
did you guys like the quizzes or no?
No, it was great. When I failed 1 or 2, and I was like, "This game sucks," but then I just was like, "All right, you got me. That was good. Let's keep going."
I failed like 5, not even 5. I got 8 of them. To be honest,
it was like, "What's 1+1?" And you're like,
and the funniest part too was his dialogue changes when you lose too, and he keeps making fun of you if he keeps changing. It's very fun.
Yeah. I think
those extremely high effort, almost unreasonably high effort, like shit post of a dungeon.
Yep, but it's good. And I love the smug look on his face too. He looks so smug.
He's very smug the entire time. Yes.
And the worst part is like the third question is like a fake question. Well, not a fake one. It's not a riddle. That's the thing. He says it's gonna be a regular question. So every time he said that, I got really scared. I was like, oh, is he gonna trick me here? Man, that was fun. There was also you didn't do the first two, right? You only did that one.
I missed the first one. It's something about a ghost on a road or something. I read something about it, but I was like, I didn't get this.
Yeah, you get this biker. He's going too fast. He crashes on a road, and you have to chase him down the highway or something. Biker. And nice. Yeah, he's like Hell Biker, but he looks like a Power Ranger.
Glib would think that's cool.
What's
his name?
Speed Demon, I think.
Yeah,
Turbo Granny,
something like that. I forgot.
Turbo Granny.
She appears in this game. I fucked her up.
Yeah, Speed Demon.
Killed her.
I really like the garden one where you jump over the walls and do the moon phases.
VR park. That
was pretty simple, but
I didn't like it at the end because it became like a dark room type thing, and like I couldn't tell where I was going, and he had to jump still.
Yeah, that's why I liked it.
I think it was better in this one because you can kind of see in dark rooms in this game, so it wasn't that bad. But it was kind of like, bro, come on now, like, come on.
I think I did that. Was that before you go to Aldon?
I liked it.
That is before, yeah.
Okay, I think I did that.
It's kind of weak to like. I wish that boss was different, but it felt like that boss should have been in the main game. It's the same thing you're already doing. All it was doing was like the soul stealing thing. So I just felt like it was extra content. I was just
So what was the Sea Arc too? Is that so I ran the fact that's a post game thing. You have to go there after you win.
Yeah, I think so.
It's so annoying because I was going up in levels incrementally as I played. And like before the final dungeon, I went in again, and it was like there's 20 floors or something. It was like floor 8. You can't get in. It's like what am I supposed to do? I'm at the last dungeon. I can't get into the 8th floor. What is going on?
I was using that to like for a mag if I ever got low.
Yeah,
especially early game because I was low a lot early game.
That'd be a good use for that. I dumped mags so hard on Nemesis that I would just wipe everything.
You should be Magnetite.
Magic attack, sorry.
Also,
yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I spent like an hour grinding this game today, so I could fuse Almighty, and like I accidentally grinded for like an hour and got like 80,000 mag. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing with Magnetite system is it's kind of silly because it's like you can get low if you're overloaded on party members, but then if you have way too much, it's like, what do I do with this? Like in this game, I can exchange it for money, but what do I do with money? I already have all the best armor that they sell. I don't need any more.
I fused compendium stuff and then fed it to my Zeed.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really do anything that fancy though to beat it. Although, again, I didn't fuck with any of the difficulty settings. Maybe if you do that or you do New Game Plus, you got to start doing that stuff. I don't know.
I'm sure the hard mode requires quite a bit.
Oh, I heard in New Game Plus you can save Spooky. Is that true?
Yep.
Yeah, you can. You can actually save him. It doesn't really change much other than a couple lines of dialogue.
Scene or whatever, right?
And the feel of the scene's actually really kind of different too, because like in the original ending, he dies, right? And everyone's just kind of like reminiscing and saying, okay, the Spookies will always be together. We'll, be in each other's thoughts. So it's kind of like everyone's really attached to the past, right? Whereas in the new ending, where if you save him, it's more like, okay, we're disbanding, we're still friends and all, but you guys all need to go on and move on with your life. So it's a very different feel. I think it fits better with the theme of the game than the old ending does. Surprisingly.
Yeah, I guess so. I forgot what Spooky says. He says something like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to figure out my true purpose" or something.
Yeah, because the whole reason why he started the group is because he was being petty, because he was upset that Katakura was better than him at coding, so he was just kind of off pouting.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's right. Katakura is better, and he has.
Obviously, he just almost destroyed the world.
Let's see. I feel like we have to somehow segue into talking about the differences in the versions.
Well, that's the difference. That like you couldn't save Spooky in the Sega Saturn version.
Oh. Yeah, they added that
I don't
to
think
the
so.
PS1 version.
Probably,
some of the changes that we got in the 3DS version are basically just from the PS1 version. Because I know the prototype Namechi comes from the PS1 version.
Oh, that is something I forgot to mention. Namechi, the final version looks just like the Vanessa at the very end of the game. Yeah, they look just alike. So I'm guessing male Namechi is supposed to be Manitou or something, because they're counterparts. So, but yeah, female Namechi looks just like Nemessa, her real form, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't really mess with that system because that's like, is that reliant on Street Pass? That thing, or
it's on coins, not Street Pass.
Yeah, but I shook my DS for coins.
It's a good way to do it.
It's the only way to do it because no one owns Soul Hackers.
You could just strap it to a ceiling fan and turn it on.
I should do that. God damn, that's a great idea.
I don't think that works.
No, it sounds good, but I don't think it works. Yeah.
I spent like over 100 coins on the Mechi, and by the time I did it, it had no law demons, so I was there hurt.
Yeah, I think it gives you some for free or something, right? I bought something with that.
You had to spend points for that, I think, but
maybe I just had points or something. I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure that I think it's like has different sets of demons you can buy. But the one I had only one law demon it had was a Moshofu, whatever her name is. I was very upset.
Yeah, I know demon.
People are horny for her. I don't like that.
Yeah,
little girl.
That's bad. Don't do that.
That's the appeal.
Come on, man. You can't do that.
Her design is cool. I like
the
aesthetic.
She's very funny. I like her.
She's wearing a parka. I mean, she's wearing a parka and weird lipstick. I mean, what's the idea there?
She's got like a hawk head hat thing.
A what?
A lot of people wear hats. It's not unique.
Okay, I mean, I know you have a fedora, but that doesn't mean everyone else is wearing it.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
How dare you?
But yeah, changes in the game. One of them was Kinap's name.
What was Kinap's name before that?
In Japanese, it's a red man.
What race is Kinap? Can we approximate what race he is based on, his heritage? Interesting.
Native American.
I wonder where the name Red Man came from.
Hitomi actually wants to go visit where Nemissa was born. So I'm assuming she goes to visit where that tribe. I forgot what tribe it was.
The Apache.
At the end of the game.
I don't know. Who cares? The Algonquin.
I don't know. But I like the Kinap a lot in the game. Like he's I think, what does he start off as a coyote or something?
And a rabbit, and then something else maybe, and then he's a racist looking caricature. He's like the guy from the Cleveland Indians at the end.
He ends up as a vulture.
He's a vulture, but at the very end, he's a human. But he looks like the Cleveland. Indian.
This isn't very related, but this made me think of it when you brought up the kidnap thing. I was thinking like, why would the Native Americans be there? But then I thought, why would ancient Sumerian gods be underneath this Japanese city?
Yes, that's a good point.
I never thought about that. Like, why is Kaimet an absolute
Jap-centric, very egocentric Japan mindset? Because the world actually revolves around America. You have to understand, not Japan. How many times has America been nuked? Think about that.
That humanity is cool. I like it a lot.
What makes the red man red?
The paint he's wearing.
Hello, me and my people used to roam the land many moons ago.
He kind of talks like that a little bit.
I wish they'd gone full red face with the voice.
They're getting canceled this episode. Can't wait.
I think there's a reason why they changed his name to Keenap.
Let's go in on this. What about L?
Does Keenap mean something also or no?
Yeah, it means like ascended one. It's like
I don't know.
It's like a title given to people who have sort of gotten like a, I don't know what to call it. It's like kind of like a transcendence thing. It's like people have gone to the spirit realm. That's what, like a Keenop is.
Yeah,
like,
warriors.
It's not like a literal name. It's like a title type thing.
Oh, it is. I thought you were being racist before.
No,
that's crazy.
Back to being racist, by the way. Oh, goddamn! What was I saying? Yeah. Okay, that's actually not being racist. That's a different term, prejudice. But those guys, yikes! That voice acting. That's very ill-advised. For anyone who doesn't know, you encounter these characters along the way. They're basically set up to be like Daft Punk, but also hackers like you. Why is everyone in the city hackers? I get that it's like fully connected and everyone has free computers and internet access, whatever, but like you'd think that fewer people would have these extremely online like professions or whatever, interests.
I guess a bunch of nerds hang out with a bunch of nerds.
These guys have the most, what would you call it, Fey accent? Sure, okay.
Flamboyant?
That's a good one. Yeah, go ahead and listen to L115 voice lines. It's perhaps not aged well. Very funny, but perhaps ill-advised. I wouldn't be surprised if Alice was canceled at some point for this.
I like the orange one. It was the yellow one really that was the most flamboyant. That was kind of being
They
extra.
were equally pretty criminal. I'm okay with this, by the way. I'm fine with it, but just in an optics view, it's like, ooh, it's a tough one.
I thought it was fine. They weren't like annoying or anything.
I thought it was funny, but
I thought it was
vibing, bro.
I'm just thinking about if someone like, apropos of nothing came into this game and listened to this, it's like, uh-oh. In 2020, this could be bad. This game,
I mean, this game has a lot of stereotypes. A lot of stereotypes.
Game. One of them. But it's funny.
We already knew
it could have been more racist.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like I was saying, with the red face.
Yeah, true.
Could have been more racist. We could have had Funky Student. Maybe one of the most racist characters.
Japanese guy with an afro.
Funky Student. Come on, man.
Japanese guy with an afro?
He's who dare call him Japanese? Glib, can you black me up here?
You just say, can you black me up? Is that a Freudian slip?
Oh my gosh.
I'm editing it out.
That's awful.
I think we can get into the questions now because we definitely. Well, actually, no.
Oh, I wanted to talk about the extra dungeon, the changes. They cut out like a ton of the dialogue for Rido. Yeah, I posted it earlier. The translation I did. Yeah, it's like right before Kyoji, you get a bunch of questions like, why are you seeking power? What's your reason for it? And, you end up talking to this nameless god and, he says, okay, you've conquered yourself and, learn to deal with your shit. And he bids you farewell and you wake up, right? And the other one, you talk to Rido and he makes fun of you and they leave.
Yeah.
The end.
Which I gotta say, it's like super disappointing. If you played the extra dungeon going, oh yeah, we get to experience Rido and Rido, or it's gonna be a really fun time. It's like the most like not good voice acting in the game in terms of like the dialogue. I think the delivery is not good because I don't think that they fit the characters, especially Goto. Yeah, the stuff. It's
for clarity. Is this a new game plus situation, or is this a C arc thing? Or
It's just post game.
It's post game. So extra dungeon. So originally, extra dungeon was a bonus disc you can get by buying the second volume of the Demon Compendium disc that was exclusive to Sega Saturn. So you have to buy one, and then you buy the second one. You can
wildly confusing.
Yeah, you get a random chance to get this dumb disc, which has the bonus content of being able to fight Kyoji. In this version, it's just included with the game, and you can just do it. And
DLC is bad these days, folks.
It's the most ridiculous. It's actually one of the most expensive in terms of rarity. It's the last I saw, I think it was like $600 for the actual original bonus disc thing. Yeah, so I don't have to suffice to say.
So you're poor. Okay, cool. Go on.
Okay. Well, you can buy it from me. I'll give you one of my Black Frost, and you can give me.
What a trade. What to tell you? Oh, jeez.
But I forget exactly what Raito says when you beat him. Well, before you beat him, he says such garbage things as, I need to stretch my legs a bit. Let's fight. Let's fight this guy." Then he heals you, and he's like, "Okay, well, get ready. Let's see," because he makes fun of you for using your gump to summon demons instead of using tubes, because apparently tubes are the best way to do it.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, said kids to rely on their computers too much or whatever."
And then after you beat him, he's like, basically, he's like, "Oh, okay." And then the real Raito comes, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta go. We have to finish our mission." And then the thug Raito is like, "No, let's go to the club, and I bet the girls here are really nice." And then the Goody Two Shoes Raito is like, I'd rather not." And it's like, why? I don't want to hear this. Like, this is not. When I think Raito, I don't think that dialogue exchange at all.
There's really multiple Raitos?
Yeah. So I don't want to spoil the Raito games too much, but there's multiple Raitos in this. So play Raito. I mean, maybe we'll play Raito, but I didn't like that dialogue exchange. I thought it was out of character for both characters. And then Goto was annoying in that too. The way they did they did like a weird echo effect on his voice, which I was like, why? Like, it exists in the Japanese version too, but I just didn't understand why it was there. And the fights were easy too.
I want the original dialogue because it was like the only bit of character that the main character gets.
I mean, you get a lot of people asking you what you're going to do in the game, so I guess that counts as character. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I didn't play any of that.
I didn't finish Extra Dungeon though. I just watched the Raito part. I only did
fraud alert.
Yeah, I didn't finish it either. I only knew about it because of the Japanese version. Because I had to do the video.
I only watched it because it was boring. It wasn't difficult. It wasn't fun. I was just like, I don't care. Because when you beat Kyoji, nothing really happens. It's just he's just like, oh yeah, this guy is one of the strongest devil summoners of all time, and then you mollywop him easily, and then he's like, oh okay, he's going away now, and I was like, okay, thank you.
Go home, old man.
Ugh. So I don't know. I thought Extra Dungeon was pretty disappointing, and if I got that disc, like in lottery in Japan, 1996, I'll be angry. So I'm like, why? What is the point of this? It's not fun.
Well, the 1996 one has a different ending, though.
Still
sucks.
What else what else was worth mentioning?
Untranslated text, maybe? Do you expect this stuff?
Oh, yeah. One or two of the terminals I found had untranslated text when you were trying to save. I was like, because it says it in English, and you look up, and it's like, oh, it's Japanese.
I don't know what to do now. How do I save?
Yeah, then Glib, you found one too, right?
I forget when it happened exactly, but it was during negotiation with a female demon, and it happened to me once.
Women.
It wasn't really major enough for me to care much. It only happened once, so I didn't really bug about it.
Oh, I experienced something unusual. It doesn't really matter to me. Glib. This is you're just like the people who played SMT4 Apocalypse and didn't get the text. We're just too good, so we didn't notice that there was untranslated text.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it didn't change my experience. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's not a big thing, but
It's worth noting.
That's a couple lines of text not translated. There's probably more too that I missed because I didn't do everything.
Okay, now we can get into the questions.
Right? I don't have it up actually. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay, so I asked for a series of questions as related to Soul Hackers because I thought it would be better / more interesting to answer questions or field questions in relation to the game. I won't say that all the questions that were asked were good, and you guys will see what I mean.
Sure. Some of these not looking great. But we'll start with something we've already addressed in a way. Who is bigger on the WTF scale, Snappy the Dolphin or Romero the Monkey? This comes in from Gordonian Kid on Twitter.
I like Snappy the Dolphin
I like
more.
Romero more, but I think Snappy was more what WTF.
Yeah, I felt more WTF about Snappy.
But they're both pretty WTF in different ways, because Snappy is kind of rapey and weird, but Romero's more bizarre.
Romero's funny.
It's very funny.
Romero's
also bizarre. The idea of this monkey with an exposed brain who's become very intelligent. Yeah.
It's like that horror movie, so
not
as shocking, I guess.
Yeah.
But like Snappy had like wings and stuff and started like the gimmick I said before about him absorbing magic, and you can't really tell. I mean, it looks like he's doing it, but he's not actually doing it. So it was a lot more weird for me.
Wasn't Snappy based off Echo the Dolphin?
I had no clue.
I don't know.
I think,
but Creepy Echo is definitely what I thought of.
Based off of real dolphins. So if Snappy the Dolphin is a dolphin, then technically, in a way, yes, because
that's deep, bro.
Echo is just the dolphin. By the way, the last stage of Echo the Dolphin. What the fuck was that? Did you ever play that game?
No, I didn't.
I didn't beat it, but I played it.
What the fuck is that? That shit is crazy, dude. Go back and play that. It gets pretty nuts. There's aliens. It's insane. Yeah.
I remember the aliens.
Yeah, Vulcan the Machine. Play that. Echo the Dolphin OST, track 12 or whatever. Anyway, moving on. At NaviX2 on Twitter writes in, is that a good game? In reference to Soul Hackers.
Yeah. I would say out of all the spoiler casts so far, this is the most good spoiler cast.
This is the one I have
the most universally positive, but also the competition is not very strong overall.
Yeah.
It's been almost all bad games except Makken. We like Makken.
Yeah, we like
Makken is a cool game.
Yeah, I like Makken too, but it's not as fun to play as
Soul Hacker. It's kind of broken for me too.
Yeah, Makken is a weird experience. Yeah.
If I was gonna rate it like 1 to 10, 1 being like a very bad game, I guess.
You mean if?
No, like a really bad game. Like
almost as bad as if. I see what you're saying.
Limited Saga. If you guys ever played a Limited Saga, it's a horrible game. It's one of the worst games I've ever played.
Nope.
Okay, but like that's like 1, and then 10 being a perfect game, which I don't have any of those. The highest ranking games are like Strange Journey or other 9 games.
Right.
I'll give one like an 8 or maybe a high 7, like a 7.5 or something.
Okay.
That seems fair.
8 for me too, I think.
Yeah, on a 10-point scale, that's good.
8.5 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Going a little too extra there. 8.5.
Look, man, this game is in my top 5 Mega 10 actually.
I would agree. I would say top 5.
Is it Snappy?
Maybe top 3, maybe top 3.
Top 3? Oh, no. Top 5, yeah.
I think about it. Definitely top 5.
From day to day, it depends for me for top 3. But honestly, some days, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Moving on. Shop Larrue. Okay. From Brandon at Das Whalebeard. writes in saying, "Why is Soul Hackers just the best?" I guess this is actually just the same question that we answered.
It's not.
It's not the
Even
best.
the best. It's not even the best Devil Summoner game.
Sure, I don't know anything about that, but
it's the only Devil Summoner game I've played.
It's the Devil Summoner Raido 2.
Yeah, those are next for me, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, here's a similar one. BLM at Sonic Kick at Sonic Kick 2 on Twitter writes, "Why is Nemesis the best?"
She's not the best.
Question. She's pretty good though. She's a good contender, especially
she was funny. I like
gameplay
for female side character MC type stand-in person. Might be the best for that category.
Argilla?
I like that she's outspoken.
I like that
at
in
least.
the game she started actually caring about Hitomi.
I wish I could punch you through the
Argilla is Garbaggio. Molto Garbaggio.
No.
I'm pinching two of my
Argilla.
fingers together, making sort of like that thing with the Italian.
hand.
Molto Garbaggio. I'm doing one of those things.
No, Nemissa was the best female character in the game. The best female design is Mayon or whatever the girl's name.
Oh, the Umbrella Phantom or what
Phantom
do they
Society,
call
right?
Phantom Society.
Phantom
Yeah,
Society.
she's
Yeah,
the
that's it. And she shows up for like a minute.
Because Kaneko had a really cool design and was like, guys, imagine if
Is that the umbrella bitch?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I love her umbrella.
Why
I
did
have
they
her
have
umbrella
an
and Imagine.
entire character for her?
That is a real question. She is there for legitimately one
I had
fight.
like a 30-second fever dream while you were talking, being like, "Who is this character?" And then I was like, "There was a Ren Fair ass umbrella bitch who showed up in this game. That must have been her." And it was. So that brings us to our next question from Lamb at Dismal Lamb on Twitter. Best Soul Hackers design, and why is it Mayone?
Oh, for that, Finnegan was my favorite because I think it's the most
He's
alpha
cool.
male. Yeah.
Fingerless gloves, balding, 1997. Great look.
Quick question.
Great look.
When you guys fought Finnegan the first time, well, I guess maybe the second time, I think.
You can cheat.
Did you guys fight him solo or no?
I cheated for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
did solo.
He was a hitman. He's not an honorable person.
Bro.
I'm not gonna let Nemissa miss out on that.
First of all, Nemissa is busted. Why would I not bring her? Second of all, this man has no honor.
You're scared, bro. You're scared, bro.
I don't have a gun. He has a gun.
I
guess
real
I had a
man.
gun.
Oh, you can be a gun too. What are you talking about?
I guess I had a gun. That's true. I'm a 15-year-old. He's a grown ass man. He should be able to handle a demon bitch in a cat suit. He's an honorless pig. That's what I think about him. If he had demonstrated any sense of equity towards me, any honor at all, I would have respected his duel offer. But that seemed like a trick because he kidnapped my friend. Well, not some retard I associate with, not really my friend, but idea. Same idea.
Sidebar, I would have said that Spooky was the best design, but knowing that he's supposed to be 25,
It diminishes it. Yeah.
Well, he's based off of Fox Mulder, so he kind of looks like him at 25.
And his name is that Nintendo guy, right? Sakurai.
Yeah, Sakurai.
Yeah, Masahiro Sakurai.
Who is he in Zelda? Or? Oh,
Smash guy.
He's stuck in the hell that is making Smash.
Imagine
Kirby. He's Kirby. More importantly,
he is Kirby. Yeah, Kirby is the best
rules.
part
Kind of like
his
Kirby.
life.
Go ahead and please kill yourself. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Wait, if what?
I'm sorry, what?
Kirby?
You said if you play Kirby?
No, I said if you don't like Kirby.
Oh,
yeah.
I think everyone universally likes Kirby.
That's what you hope, but there's evil under every rock out there. We have to cleanse
Kirby's
every anti-Kirby.
Spider is looking really.
She's just like, she's pulling out her collar. I love Kirby. Kirby's great.
I definitely don't have a death wish.
Yeah, no, I know plenty of people like Kirby. I don't know what the problem is. My favorite design would probably be I mean, honestly, so like Nemesis is like, I purposely wasn't interested in Soul Hackers purely because of how horny people were for Nemesis, and I just thought she was a pair of tits for a long time. Because I've seen her character posted everywhere, and like people talking about Soul Hackers and all this like Native American mythology or whatever. And I'm like, I think you guys are all just horny retards. Like, I don't think you actually care about any of this stuff. But she's actually like a cool like design for a character. It's cool that her hair turns white when she's demon mode. I think that's a cool design. I like it.
I mean, isn't that what
She actually looks nothing like you expect her to. I mean, she acts nothing like you expect her from her looks, I guess, right?
Yeah. She's not as like blatantly sexually oriented or whatever you'd call it.
See, I thought she was gonna be more goth, like I was gonna be talking to the lead singer of Evanescence or something. But she's super
actually really bubbly.
But also like very spiteful and like mean at times, but not personally.
Like lead singer of Evanescence. Yeah.
We're going back to the AMV thing. I think you're going back to that. You gotta break away from that.
I kind of want to make a Soul Hackers AMV now.
Dark Soul Hackers tribute.
Oh, we should make it. What's that one song they use from Naruto? From 3 Days Grace. From the Missa in Hitomi. That'd be great. Let's gut your content right there, sir.
Please watch this that I just posted.
I really like
Please, everyone, watch this.
Oh no. I really like the designs of Mayone.
I don't know how to say her name.
Mayone? How do you say Mayone? I think it's Mayone. And Nemissa, of course, the guy at the OA, and Vincent and his maid, the deadpan maid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
where
Mary?
her face just never changes.
Right in that
Yes,
you would get
Mary.
her to smile if you do a certain quest line. Yeah. If it's a new
really?
game plus, you have to do certain things and say certain things in dialogue, and at some point she'll smile. Her character model will smile.
That's cool. I know that.
Oh, I should have done that.
It goes high in the scale too. Yeah.
How many guys didn't name any demons? You just guys name characters.
Did you guys watch the video?
I can't. I'm on my phone.
No.
Come on.
I'm not gonna watch that video.
Please watch it.
I'll watch it right now. If it's trash, I'm killing you.
It's gonna be bad. Okay. So I'll read the next question.
This is some Ghostbuster stuff.
So
we're gonna post a link to this in the description, by the way.
I'm trying to think of like so one thing that I'll say that I forgot to mention about Soul Hackers that is a real huge plus is Soul Hackers has like some of the coolest like demon designs. Some of the modern ones that we like now come from Soul Hackers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like I almost want to say, what's the name of that dragon? The one with the heart, the metal. Yeah, I believe the cool Fafnir design comes from Soul Hackers.
Oh, the metal one. Okay.
Yeah, and there's other ones too, but that's the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I like the metal one the most. That's a cool one.
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense because he's supposed to been slain by Siegfried.
It makes perfect sense. What are you talking about?
Well, he's made out of metal, and Siegfried's sword is just made out of metal. So what do you do with that?
You can still slay metal with metal.
No, you can bend it.
Have you played Dragon Quest? You use Metal Slash on Metal Slimes?
Shut up. Do you watch Dark Urkel Tribute or not?
I did watch it.
What do you think? Do you like it?
It was very dumb, and I enjoyed it.
We're gonna post a link to that, folks. You can enjoy it with us.
What was wrong? I was thinking of too, though.
So that's what I'm talking about with the AMV thing. Keep talking about Evanescence. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, we'll move on.
Oh, the other thing is,
sure.
In Soul Hackers, the original Soul Hackers has the cool Chernobog design. For some reason, the 3DS version has the ugly Chernobog.
The not mushroom.
Yeah, but the mushroom one was created for Soul Hackers. If I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah,
the mushroom Chernobog is very cool.
Yeah, so
I thought I saw mushroom.
Huh?
I thought I saw mushroom.
That's the idea. This was in Soul Hackers, but before in other games, it was a shitty non-mushroom.
Yeah, the one with just a cape and like a scythe, I think. So
Like the old
Because
Bugaboo was really
Chernobog
ugly
just
too.
means, I think, literally just
Black
dark god or god of darkness. So you can do whatever you want. But the idea is a weird mushroom man that poisons people. That's a cool interpretation. I like that.
Yeah, because mushrooms can grow in the dark. It's perfect.
Yep, it works. Great job.
So I update my Soul Hackers power listing to be that Chernobog is the best Soul Hackers character in the game.
Okay, the best design, right?
Yeah, not the best character in design.
Well, this is. I think you stepped on this question because our next question is from Jason Stew. Hashtag P4G broke free. Very funny. At Jason Stew 2 writes in asking, why are there so many new demon designs in Soul Hackers compared to any other Megaten game? So I guess we sort of already started talking about this.
My conspiracy. Sorry, go ahead.
It's add-on to content. I mean, on a system that can hold more data than the older. Well, can it?
I guess compared to previous iterations.
I don't know if it can hold
the Sega Saturn for sure.
Yeah.
But
I really like the Shamyaza design. That was really cool.
See, I don't know what this question means. If are they referring to the demons that were added to the 3DS version? I think it's like 50 is what they added.
I think they mean the original ones.
Yeah, like the Mechi and
ones?
whatever else.
I think they mean the ones designed for it, not the ones.
It answered both versions of the question, as if Soul Hackers as an entry to Megaten. Why did that have more new designs? And also, why did the Western release have more designs?
For the original Soul Hackers, the reason would most likely be this is the time where they just hired Shiraishi and Soejima, so they had more people in the art department, so they probably just had more hands to make more demons, or because I know that they divided the coloring job, so that probably freed up Kaneko to design more things, which is probably why the character designs are so wild in this one. For the modern one, I don't know, just because when you re-release a game, you want more content, and demons is the easy content to put. That's what I think.
Okay. Anyone else have any opinions on this topic?
I know. I was like, did I?
Yeah, I have no fucking idea how to answer this. So
yeah, because
in my opinion, this era of like Kaneko designs are the best.
Yeah,
easily, much better than Nocturne or the previous one.
Yeah, some of them are a little rough though. Like
definitely.
Leprechaun. That's a real.
Leprechaun is cool.
Leprechaun's
it's so dumb.
Leprechaun is awful.
Gotta say, be a man in a shoe. No, we don't do that here.
Well, I mean, Glib does apparently.
He likes that.
It's amazing.
I guess he's a
it's so stupid.
I don't know. It is very.
Who made that up?
I appreciate how stupid it is, but I hate how stupid it is. It goes too stupid.
It's like the boot is like a color of the British flag. It's like
it's like what the fuck is going on with this? Hate it.
That done is fine. I don't care what you guys say.
He sucks.
I just think
all right.
He literally saw like a what is that famous model like Ziggy or Sticky or whatever? Sticky? What you know what I'm talking about? That one girl. She's famous, whatever. And I just took her shoe and made a demon out of it.
Yeah, and it's like a high-heeled platform shoe. God, I hate that.
He looks like that Teen Titans villain.
What are they called? Those go-go boots or something?
Looks like an Austin Powers prop that a leprechaun is living inside of. I hate that.
It looks like that Teen Titans villain Mad Mod to me.
A little bit, yeah. I can see that. Okay. Next question. This is completely incomprehensible. Heroine Curem at Raja Kolati writes in asking, who is Wink Wink?
You don't know the joke?
We don't know. But Yamai wrote the song apparently, right?
I think they're talking about the people who made the opening X, I think is what it's called. Or hashtag X or
that's
X,
the one.
Whatever. This is like the first time I've ever even saw this question was on our Megaten, where they're trying to figure out who was Wink Wink because they're credited as the people who made the song, but you can't really find any information about them. There's a group from the 90s called Wink, and there is just I think the writing credit does go to Yamai, but we don't know like who Wink Wink is. like the group. Maybe they're just nobodies. Maybe they're people from inside Atlas or whatever. For whatever reason, no one knows who they are. I spent hours looking this up one time, and I just couldn't figure it out either. So
Yeah, same. The only thing I found was Yamai and like some idol company.
And
yeah,
so they're
I gave up
credited
from
as
there.
doing the opening song.
yeah, I think it's called #X. Well, I mean #X because hashtag wasn't what they called it before.
Right. This is 97. Hashtags didn't exist.
Yes. Oh,
Wouldn't it be Sharp?
Okay. All right. Well, I guess the answer is we have no fucking idea. Sorry, heroine. Okay, here's a relevant one. Mist Pro pipe sign he-homeboy writes in asking, do you think the Western audience lost a lot getting to play this game with no context of the original Devil Summoner? I think we kind of talked about this.
Yes.
Yeah, because the Kuzunohas, they show up more in that one, right? Or more relevant?
Yeah, it's about Kyoji and Reiho and I forgot what the girlfriend's name is and all them.
Yeah, so that would probably make a lot more sense if you'd had the context of that, because like we said, the Kuzunohas show up in this, but they don't have any effect on the plot. They don't really have any. I did the waifu maze. What is that called? There's like a thing in the VR thing where you go in and answer questions, and it's like you'd get along most with this character.
I
And it
don't
recommended
remember.
me the Kuzunoha girl. So we're gonna get married next week. It'll be great.
That's like confirmed.
It was like the love something. I don't know.
I've only seen the TV show, but she's my favorite character in the TV show for sure.
I'm glad I have good taste.
So no context of the original Devil Summoner. I feel like it wasn't that much lost, but I think it was definitely something that would have helped if I knew the original game more. But I think it worked without it fine.
Well, all the missions, like the vision quests about the people who died, I'm pretty sure they're all related to
Oh, they
Devil
all are?
Summoner. I'm not sure though. I don't know if they all are, but I have a feeling they are. Because I haven't played the original Devil Summoner and I don't know much about it other than the
No,
basics.
Naomi is, that's it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of Naomi, another person writes in Charasu at Charasu asks, is there any side material that expands on Naomi? Did you beat Kyoji and the double Ritos? What is the best stat and why is it luck? See, I told you. They don't have anything to say about that? I think we talked about the boss fight and all that stuff.
Because isn't Naomi the girlfriend for Kyoji, right? Or something? Or I forget what she is.
She might have that name too. Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really remember who that is. I just remember her being the girl with. She's the girl with the where the hair is cut straight in the front. What's it called? Bangs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't know who she is.
She has tattoos.
The only thing I know is that she's in Devil Survivor. She's one of the auctioneers. So is Lunch and a couple other people. I don't know.
She likes tapioca pudding and peach.
Yeah, Naomi was the right. She was the evil, the dark summoner who you fight Tiamat or whatever with, right?
Yes. She was broken too.
Yeah, she was super powerful. But also she sucked because she lost.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything.
I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, she's just sort of one of those one-off characters that doesn't really serve a purpose necessarily.
Yeah, but she's definitely one of the ones that ended up being a fan favorite because she's a popular cosplay and a bunch of other stuff. In terms of like other side material, none of it, to my knowledge, focuses on her. So, sorry. But I've also never read the manga, never read the other manga. There's two, and I never read the books. And I think there's a mobile game too. Never thingied it. So I guess the real answer is nobody knows because no one read any of those things. Not even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe one day.
someone will translate them.
Spoilercast, we're all learning Japanese.
Next question.
And also, actually, to finish the second part of the question, did anyone else do the extra dungeon?
No.
Nope.
Well, like I said, I only did the Kyoji part. I didn't do the Raido.
I meant to do it, but I'm too slow.
I don't think anyone really
I wanted
cared.
to do it really badly, but I'm too slow to beat games. So.
You had to do New Game Plus for that, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
I think the only thing I had New Game Plus
I'm not
for
sure
was
though, but I don't think so.
the ending with what's his name, Spooky.
Yeah, where you can make Spooky live.
Okay. What?
That is a better ending in my opinion, even though I'm always kind of skeptical of like, oh yeah,
It's
happy
better.
ending.
Either way, it's still
it
not a
fits
happy
better.
ending. It's just more like the ending of like a coming of age thing where you're just accepting that something has to change or that things are changing. So
yeah.
I liked both versions. Spooky being alive was just good because I like Spooky. That's
Yeah.
That's Boomer Boys.
Oh, we literally answered the next question.
Yeah. The next question was from Demi Bandage, #, BLM # at Demi Bandage. How do you feel about the alternate ending soul hackers you get from New Game Plus, which is Spooky Lives? It seems cool. I guess I don't really care either way. I think it's fitting that he dies because he got possessed and he was in a very high stakes game. He was under equipped for the task, so to speak, which a lot of people are.
It feels a bit of a cop out when he gets out of that. But I think the ending overall works better with the theme of the game.
I think it's fine.
But it does feel awkward.
I like that it's locked behind New Game Plus because it's not it kind of makes it be like, okay, you're strong enough to actually save Spooky, I guess. That seems cool in theory. I like those types of Easter eggs or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go to the next question. So we basically did that one. Jugo at SMT1 Lick Build and also Magic, I guess. At Tharcian Hugo writes in asking, how do you feel about Zoma Fusion? Would you like to show up new games? I guess we already talked about this a little bit too. It's cool.
I loved it. To be honest, I'd be okay with it if they write it back as a mechanic and it was like the only way to use demons, to be honest.
They've got to tutorialize it though a little bit.
Yeah, it needs more control too over the skills and stuff.
Yeah.
The skills are so bad.
And maybe make it a character,
It wasn't really a character, it was just kind of a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Is make it a character so it's more prominent.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Because currently it's a completely optional thing that you don't need to do, right? Yeah. So making it a character that you utilize frequently, that would be cool. That would make sense.
Wouldn't it be kind of weird to have a character that was like a slave though?
Isn't Morgana just a slave and Teddy?
If you're looking at it that way, the slave master relationship, that's on you, man. I don't know. That's weird.
It's blatantly a slave. When you fuse it, it directly says, "I'll follow your orders."
I mean, honestly, most of the characters in Megaten are slaves. Asai, Morgana, the dog from
Zeed literally has a chain around his neck, bro. Like, what do you mean?
So it is Angel.
He literally has a chain around his neck, bro.
It's an alien with a chain around its neck.
In some societies, a chain around your neck is a status symbol. So.
Okay.
A low status
maybe it's
symbol,
a joker. Maybe he's trying to be hot. You don't know.
Boy Zeed.
Yep.
That's powerful energy right there.
He's trying to be hot. You don't know. All right, last question.
Chops are hot topic.
This is a lot of evanescence. This isn't even a question. Nith Grandbeard at NithG writes in saying, not asking, no questions in particular, but I do just want to say this is one of the best Megaten games.
Yeah, so far it's an 8 or a 7 out of 10.
It is one of the best ones, yeah, for sure. Even
most definitely.
There's really no reason to rate it below a top 10, I'd say.
Yeah, because
a lot of these games suck.
If you rate it below a top 10, that tells me that you either don't care for gameplay or you're ignoring some other critical part of the game in lieu of maybe liking a character design a lot. You know what I mean?
Or you have some kind of mental illness that you're like obsessed with certain types of characters and they're not represented in a way that you like. Or Persona 2. Sorry, I just have a cough. I think I have the virus.
I love Persona 2
I
though.
will never stop hating on it.
Well, it sucks because you're just like Persona 2.
Take it
What does that
back.
mean?
Yeah, no, you're if you were a Megaten game, you're literally Persona 2. Yeah, that's what you are.
I'm not a game.
Glib, what would Glib be? Glib would probably be like SMT4. SMT4.
I like SMT4 though.
Glib is Asahi.
Bro, stop.
You're apocalypse.
Next question.
That's it.
Glib
That's all
would be
we got. We're
Asahi.
gonna sign off on Glib being Asahi, and I think we'll be
Glib
good.
would be Asahi.
Thank you.
Spider would be good.
Next Spoilercast.
I guess Neb would be Toki.
No. That is a real pedophile flex that you.
This is what you started, bro.
I don't like that.
Look at what you
No,
started,
no.
Steve.
We have to end this. This is bad.
But
I'm in trouble. Oh yeah. So we were just convening in order to choose the winners. Last podcast, we announced a super special giveaway to honor the greatest video game of all time coming to Steam, Persona 4 Golden, in which we will give 4 keys away on Steam to the best commenters based on completely arbitrary criteria. For our previous episode, which was mostly about Persona 4 Golden coming to Steam, some DX2 stuff, other dumb shit that doesn't matter. So we're all going to announce our picks of who wins and defend the choice. So first up is Larrue. Go ahead and tell us who won for you. Who gets a free Persona 4 Golden key on Steam?
So the person I chose is, I picked a lot of different. I looked at a lot of different things. I looked at the profile picture, the username, the response time, how many thumbs up they got, and I thought this person kind of hit most of the boxes. I chose Madigan Leonhardt. Leonhardt.
French. Leonhardt.
Please don't do that again.
Au revoir.
And I'm assuming he wrote in this answer, a cool mod idea I heard about on another podcast. I'm not going to say the name because they don't get the views.
Whoa.
Wow.
Petty.
Was to change who the killer is.
That's powerful, though.
And I think that's actually a super cool mod to be able to change who the killer is in Persona 4. That's fun. That makes the replayability
interesting. Yeah.
It's a lot of work sounding. It sounds like a lot of work, but it'd be very.
Yeah, is that dynamic? Like, how does that work with the boss fight at the end? Like, what's?
You would have to program a bunch of different bosses. I would love for the tuba girl to be the killer.
I hate that bitch.
Yeah, I do too.
I love to dunk on her.
Hold her head.
This is not very related, but did you know that's the original concept for Danganronpa?
What's that?
That was the original concept for Danganronpa.
The
killer's always different for each.
Then you could change the plot of the story and have be different characters be the killer and stuff.
Interesting.
That would have been a great game, but it's trash now. So
yeah, it's for weebs. It's terrible.
Next pick.
Speaking of weebs, Glib, tell us what won for you. Go ahead and give us your opinion.
I picked this man. He is Ramon Icaro, I think you said. He had a good comment and it was nice, so I picked that one. Yours is mean. Okay. I hate you.
What did he say?
What did he say? Yeah, go tell us a little bit what he said.
It was a very enjoyable podcast. I hope you guys continue. He did some more, but I didn't really care about the rest.
What? Okay, I'll read the rest because he said that his favorite persona was Thor because he carried him originally, and I guess he doesn't specify what original means, but maybe the original Persona or Persona 4 regular, not Golden.
He says 4, so I'm assuming 4 or vanilla.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he means on PS2. So yeah,
sure. Yeah, regular Persona 4. Okay, Spider, what did you choose?
I chose Sarikaya, who says, what I really liked about Persona 4 is the suspense Persona 4 had near the end before the main reveal that other modern Persona games didn't have. Persona 3 did feel eventless with its last months, and Persona 5 straight up wasn't that suspenseful. Even though it's not my favorite entry in the Persona series, Persona Persona 4 has my favorite end game.
Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with a lot of that. You like but it is a really enjoyable.
It's a good
how it builds up.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised at any of the reveals or anything, but it does have a lot of suspense, especially with the ending and all that. The bad ending.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of nice things it does, even though it's not my favorite personal favorite in the Persona series either.
Yeah, it's also like probably the most honest attempt at answering one of the prompts that we originally proposed in our previous episode. So
yeah,
good choice. Yeah. Speaking of good choices, the final choice was by me. This man, Super Skyman 64, wrote in saying, "Wait, why the hell is Glib here?" Which great comment. Thank you very much. I'm gonna PM you a key for Persona 4 Gold for your hard work.
Yeah, so how they get all
Why is everyone hating on me, man? I don't get it. I'm just trying to be here vibing. I'm just here shining, bro. Y'all just trying to hate on me, bro. Like, I don't even get it.
So-
I love that.
I'm just trying to.
just so I can know how will they get in contact, or how will we get in contact with them?
Why don't you have access to the main account, right?
Yes, it is.
So yeah, you go ahead and just DM them and see if they respond. We'll figure out a way to get their shit.
You
to them.
can't DM on YouTube, can you? I don't think you
You
can.
can DM on YouTube, yeah.
I was
think
gonna
you
say
can,
that they could
yeah.
post their Discord tags in the next video. in
you
the
just tag
comments.
them in the comments too, if worse comes to worse.
Well, great. That'll be on the recording. Very meta. Thank you. Okay, we'll try to get in contact with these 4 people. And also, you know what? This is a great comment. I'm gonna pitch in for an extra key, a bonus key for this individual, Korean Oketo, who just wrote in simply "Boofu moment," which I've been looking at that ever since we first came in this comment section for the first time, and I've been laughing at it. So you're also gonna get a key.
The quality of comments is going to drop so much because of this.
We haven't announced a new giveaway, so you don't know. I mean, who knows? But thank you very much for attempting, all 10 of you. Maybe not actually all 10 of you, but some of you for attempting to answer our prompts.
Like one of them, or actually 2.
We will get in contact with you. If you do listen, please try to get in contact with Larrue on Facebook or
Facebook or Twitter,
YouTube, whatever, and prove that it was your account, because I'm sure there'll be an imposter trying to trick us. So all 5 of you, we'll try to get in contact with you, get in contact with us. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We got some keys waiting for you.
I know how to do it. This is what we'll do.
Yeah.
I'll put my Twitter handle and my Facebook page there in the description. My email is attached to my account as well. Don't worry, it's like not an important email. You can contact me one of those 3 ways if you're one of the winners. Verify who you are, and we'll like double check to make sure you guys aren't just trying to scam us. Not everyone is Korean Akado, so just be honest, and we'll give you those things that way. So you have 3 ways to contact me: email, Facebook, Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay. Well, thanks for playing, guys, and thanks for listening. I think that's it. Anyone have anything else?
I was gonna say one more thing. In Soul Hackers, there are like a couple of demons that say they're weak to some things, or like that actually know some things, but it's actually wrong. Like Greyman, and I think it was Greyman and something else. It says they know expel, but if you use it, they're actually weak against it.
Huh. Really?
Wow. The only thing I have left to say is that if we were in Soul Hackers, Glib would be my Zeed.
Would be who?
Whoa.
Who would I be? Hello?
Why are you laughing at your own joke?
I even hear it, bro. I don't even know what's happening.
That's fucked up, dude.
It really is.
You really gonna do something like that?
He's gonna be in the thumbnail too.
Glib is gonna be Zeed. That's
Zeed is epic. Hello?
You're allowed to say that. I don't think I'm allowed to say that based on the context of the discussion we've been having.
Nebus canceled. Nebus canceled this podcast.
I was defending LGBT rights with the Daft Punk guys. How dare all of you try to cancel me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, everyone. Thank you for listening, and I don't know. Go to hell, I guess.
It's actually go to Frozen.
Yeah, go to Frozen.
Heck you.
Tattooed man.
It's full of frozen yogurt.
Oh, that reminds me too. I like how the spooky thing says heck you. That's just cute to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, let's stop.
Yes. Okay, we're leaving. Bye. The outro's already played. The outro has been played.